How's it going, everyone? My name is TheRoflRaptor, bringing you yet another informational Black Ops 2 video, and this time we're going to be going through all of the currently confirmed items in the Black Ops 2 creator class. So that's perks, weapons, attachments, equipment, everything. So before I get into this, I will just say, like I said, this is the confirmed list. However, we are still in the fairly early stages of the game. There are several months until it comes out, so some of this could be tweaked. Just to let you guys know, there also are likely to be some items missing from this list, although it is a pretty comprehensive list. So let's get into this. So starting off with the assault rifles, we have the AN-94, the SMR, the M8A1, which is figured quite a lot in the trailers and things like that so far, the Type 25, the SA-58, the SIG 556, and the Scar-H, which is making a comeback. Alright, so onto the shotguns. We have the M1216, the Saiga 12, which is a semi-auto shotgun, or it might possibly be automatic. We've seen it being semi-auto in games in the past, and the R870 MCS, which from Battlefield 3 is a pump action shotgun. The LMGs, we got the LSAT, again, that's featured in Battlefield 3 if you've played that, as has the QBB, both fairly good LMGs. Obviously, they're going to be a bit different in Call of Duty, but we'll just have to wait and see. And the MK48. The sniper rifles are the DSR-50, the SVU-AS, and the Ballista. If you guys have seen Tabe's sniper gameplay, he's using the Ballista in that one. It's also the sniper rifle that without a scope that was featured in the multiplayer reveal trailer. And then I'm not going to put it up on the screen, but we also have in the special class the assault shield, or the new version of the riot shield, which you can place down and use as movable cover. And then finally, the submachine guns. We have the MP7 making a comeback, the Chicom QCB, which is a Chinese submachine gun, the PDW-57, the Scorpion Evo 3, and the MSMC. Although, looking at that, there are only 5 submachine guns. It seems likely to me that there will be maybe another submachine gun that we haven't yet seen. Maybe there are only 5. Okay, on to the secondary weapons. So for the launchers, we have the SMAW, the RPG, making a comeback from Modern Warfare 3, and the FJH-18AA. The AA is anti-air, obviously, and that's the anti-air launcher that you guys will have seen in all the gameplay and trailers so far. The pistols, we've got the CAP-40, the TAC-45, the Executioner, which is a freaking epic name for any gun, and the U-23R. And as you guys will know from the new creator class system where you use points, you can actually have no weapon equipped at the start of a game if you spend all your points on perks or kill streaks or something like that. So when you have no weapon equipped, you have the combat knife, which is what you saw in the multiplayer reveal trailer when the guy's running around with a knife. That is the combat knife. Okay, so just a big list here of all the primary attachments you can put on an assault rifle. The reflex scope, the ACOG, the target finder, which you would have seen in the Aftermath gameplay. If you haven't seen it, I've got it up on my channel. I will put a link to the other 2 videos I've made today, which also have Black Ops 2 gameplay in the background. Yeah, if you guys hadn't realised, we are actually watching Black Ops 2 gameplay in the background of this video on the map Cargo. I didn't mention that at the start, so I hope you guys are enjoying that. But the target finder highlights enemies when they enter the field of view. The hybrid optic, I assume that's very similar to the one in Modern Warfare 3. The suppressor, fast mag, which is a kind of perk, but it's an attachment, if you see what I mean. So that's actually sleight of hand. Adjustable stock, not too clear what this does, but I would imagine it increases mobility or perhaps increases accuracy. Quick draw, that's fairly self-explanatory. It's basically the quick draw perk, but in the attachment form. Grenade scanner, I would imagine this gives you some kind of way of detecting equipment, maybe a little bit like SitRep Pro, or just normal SitRep, sorry, but it's attached to your gun. Not too sure what that is. Millimeter scanner, that's the thing that can scan through walls and find stationary targets that people think is going to be really overpowered, but if it's only stationary targets, I don't really see it as a problem. Select fire, that enables you to change the fire mode, so we previously thought that was as standard on all of these guns. Turns out maybe it's just an attachment. FMJ making a comeback, and extended mag, of course. And then attachments for the pistols, you can put a reflex on a pistol, which we've never had before, so that should be quite interesting. Suppressor, extended mag, fast mag again is sleight of hand, FMJ, dual wield, and a laser sight. So pretty cool attachments for the pistols there. Okay, onto the perks. So In the perk 1 tier, we have Flak Jacket, which is as it was from Black Ops. Take less explosive damage. Ghost cannot be detected by enemy UAVs while moving, and this is super important, guys, because it means you cannot camp in one place with Ghost on, because it will not work. You will show up on the UAVs, people will come and they will kill you. This is a brilliant anti-camping technique by Treyarch here. Blind Eye means you're going to be unaffected by AI-controlled score streaks. So basically that means that unless there's a player actually controlling it who sees you and seeks you out, you should be pretty much invincible to a lot of the kill streaks, which is useful. Hardline, receive bonus score points. Pretty self-explanatory. Lightweights move faster and take no damage from falling. One important thing to note about Black Ops 2 is that pro perks are no longer in the game at all. Instead, there are just more perks in general, I think. Maybe 1 or 2 extra than previous games. And they've tried to make sure that you can't have one perk doing loads and loads of different things, such as Assassin in Modern Warfare 3. It countered so many different things, it was ridiculously overpowered. So they are trying to counter that, which is really good. Okay, in the perk 2 slot, we've got Hardwired, which is immune to counter UAV and enemy EMPs, so a bit like Assassin Pro from Modern Warfare 3. Scavenger, you guys know what that is. Cold-Blooded is resistant to targeting systems, including the Dual Band, the Target Finder, sensor grenades, and player-controlled aircraft. That is a pretty useful perk to have on, basically going to help you stay invisible as you walk around. In the description here it says Dual Band. I have no idea what it means by that. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Toughness, flinch less when shot. And fast hands, swap grenades faster, use grenades and equipment faster, and safely throw back frag grenades. So that's kind of mixture of pro perks from past Call of Duty games. Okay, and in the third tier, we have Engineer, which is basically sit rep, and you can re-roll and booby trap care packages, which is Hardline Pro from Black Ops 1. Dead Silence, same as it was in the previous games. Extreme Conditioning, same as it was in the previous games. Tactical Mask, reduce the effect of flash, concussion and shock charges. No one ever used Tactical Mask in Black Ops because it was sort of to counter Nova Gas, which no one ever used. However, if it's like Blast Shield Pro in Modern Warfare 3, then maybe more people will use that. So they've kind of made it a more of a useful perk there. Awareness, enemy movements are easier to hear, so that's like Dead Silence Pro, Sitrep Pro, I can't remember which one it is. Basically, he's going to help you sound all the enemy. And finally, Dexterity, which is climb ladders and mantle over objects faster, recover from melee faster, and aim faster after sprinting. Again, it's one of those perks where they've taken pro perk ideas and made a whole new perk with them in. So, finally, we're going to move on to some of the equipment and the score streaks. So, lethal grenades. We've got the frag grenade, of course, the Semtex, you guys know what they are. The combat axe is basically the Tomahawk, the Claymore, as it was in previous games, and the C4 and the Bouncing Betty are all exactly as they were in Modern Warfare 3, so that's pretty self-explanatory there. Then the tactical grenades, we've got the sensor grenade, which I assume is somewhat like the sensor grenade that there used to be in Battlefield Bad Company 2, if any of you played that, where you throw it out and it's basically emits a little pulse and you can sense people on there. They'll show up on the minimap. Very, very similar to the motion sensor in Black Ops and in Modern Warfare 3. Then we have the flashbang and the concussion as they were in previous games. The shock charge is that weird like throwing knife with a little EMP on it that you guys saw in the multiplayer reveal trailer. Like I said, if you want to see any of my other videos on all of this stuff, I have put out videos on all of the major events and Black Ops news we've had so far, and I'll put them in the description. Please do subscribe for all of the latest info as well, guys. But anyway, continuing on, we also have the EMP grenade, so I guess that's just a sort of more mobile version of the shock charge. Incidentally, guys, if you didn't know, the shock charge is actually a proximity sensor. We saw it in the trailer just being thrown at a guy and instantly detonating, but if you throw it down and there's no one near it, it will stay there until someone walks past, just like a Claymore or a Bouncing Betty or whatever. The tactical insertion's coming back, but I imagine they'll have tried to balance that like they did in Black Ops. The smoke grenade, and finally the Black Hat PDA, which allows you to hack equipment and care packages or disable enemy vehicles. So Hacker Pro is not a perk anymore. Hacker Pro has become a piece of equipment, which is an interesting idea. And one additional point to mention is that you can spend one of your points, one of your 10 points in the class, on a tactical grenade to bring 2 of the same type into battle. But it looks like as standard, you're only going to have 1 of that type. Then the wild cards, which I haven't put up on the screen, but they basically allow you to break the creator class system. Primary gunfighter allows you to have a 3rd attachment for your primary weapon. Secondary gunfighter allows you to have a 2nd attachment for the secondary weapon. Overkill allows you to take a primary weapon as your secondary weapon, as we've seen in previous games. Danger Close means you can take a 2nd lethal equipment. Then we have Perk 1 Greed, Perk 2 Greed, and Perk 3 Greed allow you to take a 2nd perk from each of those tiers. And finally, Tactician allows you to take a tactical grenade in place of your lethal grenade. Alright, finally onto the thing I'm sure you all really want to know, the score streaks. So, I've put up lists on the screen of all of the names of these and the amount of points in your point streak you need to acquire them. But running really quickly through them, we got the RC car exactly as it was, the UAV. The Hunter Killer is an airborne drone that seeks out and destroys a nearby target. You just basically chuck it up in the air, it whizzes around until it sees an enemy, dive bombs them and explodes. The care package, the counter UAV, the Guardian, which is the microwave emitter, which stuns and eventually kills, if they stay in it too long, enemies, which we saw in the multiplayer reveal trailer. The Hellstorm missile, which is basically a Predator missile, but instead of detonating on the ground, you can choose to detonate it above the ground and throw lots of little cluster grenades around a larger area to try and kill more people. The Lightning Strike allows you to launch a coordinated lightning strike on 3 locations. Death Machine, you guys know what that is. Sentry Gun, same as it was in previous games, except it can be remote controlled, so it's basically like the remote sentry from Modern Warfare 3. The War Machine is a grenade launcher with rapid semi-automatic firing. So you know when you got into those hacked lobbies on COD 4 and you had an automatic noob tube? That's now a kill streak, which is kind of cool. Dragonfire is the quadrotor with a lightweight machine gun. The AGR airdrops an autonomous ground robot that searches for and destroys enemies. So in the reveal trailer we saw someone piloting it. You can choose to pilot it if you want, but if you don't, it will just sort of roam around and destroy anything it comes into contact with. The Stealth Chopper is calling in a stealth helicopter which does not appear on the enemy's minimap, but I presume it behaves somewhat like an attack helicopter. One other thing to mention, guys, is with something like an attack helicopter in previous games, it would just go around the map and kill people. You can actually redirect them without piloting them directly, which is kind of a cool feature. The Orbital VSAT shows both enemy position and direction on the minimap, cannot be shot down. Basically, it's a Blackbird, which is awesome. The Escort Drone gets personal air support from an escort drone. I'm guessing this is somewhat like the Overwatch, it follows you round. Warthog is a jet aircraft that provides close air support with several strafe runs. Basically the Harrier from Modern Warfare 2 combined with the precision airstrike. EMP systems, it's just an EMP. The Loader Star, or Lodder Star, lays missile targets directly from the Lodder Star, so I would say that's somewhat like the Reaper from Modern Warfare 3. The VTOL warship be the gunner of a powerful VTOL warship, so I'm imagining the Osprey gunner, but without the care packages, or the chopper gunner. Basically, it's going to rape everything, which is going to be awesome. The K9 unit is attack dogs. And finally, the Swarm, which is what we saw at the end of the reveal trailer with all of those hunter-killer drones swarming around. You can call all of them in and they'll all search and destroy enemies, which that sounds ridiculously overpowered because if you remember, guys, it looked like there were hundreds there. And I'm guessing everyone's going to back out when that gets called in, but we'll have to wait and see. So this video was kind of long because of the amount of information I had to get through, but I hope it was informational and useful for you guys. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like, favourite it, and share it around, guys. If you could tweet this at some of the big YouTubers and get them to retweet it and get it out there, that would be so greatly appreciated, guys, because it took a lot of effort to get this information and to put the video together, and I really would like to see this video get out there and get this information out there so people know how awesome this game's going to be. If you're as excited as I am for this video, for this game, sorry, then yeah, like I said, give me a thumbs up. Please check out my channel and subscribe for all the latest info. And other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.